What's up, everybody? Avery here with Comic Scholars. Today we're talking about Batman issue number 1 from DC Rebirth. I am so excited. Let's do this. Alright, so on the first panel we see Alfred and we see Mr. Thomas himself. They are in Wayne Manor. But before I talk about what they're getting into, it seems like the writers are establishing a time. It's Monday and its season is spring. And Alfred opens the door and he finds Thomas at the door, and he simply says that I'm here about the offer. If you don't know what he's talking about, well, this is a character that comes from the Robin War event. And it wasn't really something that captivated me, but it is dire. It is something that we need to read and look into as we continue reading DC Rebirth. And so as we move on to the next page, we see Batman in his suit. I like the new suit that he has on. And he's battling with Calendar Man. And Calendar Man is describing to Batman that my spores that he's created are going to alter time. For example, it's going to alter the seasons, most likely. Meaning you're going to get spring twice a year, stuff like that. And Batman is able to take down his foe, no problem. And so in the end, Calendar Man was able to ignite these spores. And so we see Jim Gordon and his men are actually surrounding the area where this is all happening. And Batman simply tells Alfred to remotely max charge this type of equipment that he has on his utility belt that's going to deactivate these spores from changing the climate. Now, Jim Gordon does tell Batman that, hey, the air is already saturated. The spores are already dispersed. Now, this electric charge that Batman creates, it does stop the effects of it killing people by them breathing it in. But the climate has been altered, and now we're going to start seeing the effects of these spores that Calendar Man has created. And so we roll over into the next day, which is Tuesday, and the season has changed from spring over to summer. And so we see Batman, Bruce Wayne, he's exercising on the, I guess, a helicopter rooftop outside of Wayne Enterprises, and he's speaking with Lucius Fox, talking about how every time he loses money in his company, Lucius Fox is always there to bring it back, or to Lucius Fox is always there to kind of restore the balance to his account and continue Wayne Industries to keep going. And so what's interesting about this conversation is that Bruce Wayne asks Lucius Fox, how many times have we done this? How many times have you saved my company from going under? And Lucius Fox replies that it's been well over 10, or at least more than I can count. And Lucius Fox tells Bruce Wayne, you know, I've had a conversation that's very interesting. I spoke with your father about how being a doctor can just drive you crazy. There's always going to be people that needs to be healed, or you know, who needs some type of repair in their body, and it can drive you crazy. And Lucius Fox said that was the last time I had a conversation like that, up until recently, where I had the same type of conversation with somebody who was in the dark or who had a mask on, and that person that he's referring to is indeed Batman. And so Bruce Wayne responds, he's like, yeah, indeed, Lucius, because I am crazy as well. And so Bruce Wayne then follows that up with Lucius Fox saying that, but the sick need someone crazy enough to believe they can be better. So what else would I be? And that's a outstanding reply, in my opinion, to Lucius Fox about him remaining to be Batman and letting someone else run the company, because Gotham is what it is. It will always be that way, and there will always be a need for Batman. And so as we jump to the next page, it is now another 24 hours. It is now Wednesday, and the seasons have changed again. It is now fall. Batman and Thomas is now in the Batcave looking into the Batcomputer, and they see Julian, that's his name, Calendar Man. He's on the screen, and they're noticing that he ages as the seasons change. And Batman quickly recognizes that there is some type of hidden mechanism that is causing this change with his body. And quickly he's getting ready to go back out, get into his bat suit and try to find this mechanism before it alters time any further or speeds up time. And so before Batman leaves the Batcave to go and confront Calendar Man, we see Thomas confronting Batman, asking him about this offer or why he's here at Wayne Manor. And he simply says to Batman, look, I don't need to be some type of new Robin for you. I'm not looking to be trained or anything like that. And Batman simply tells him that, look, I don't want that either. I'm simply here, you're here to do something that I'm trying different and new. And as we look on the next panel, we see that there's this yellow and black suit, and Batman simply tells him that you're not going to be Robin, you're going to be something different. And he doesn't really say, but from our perspective, we can kind of say that he's going to be this kind of Batwingish or Red Robin type of character. Red Robin was never a sidekick to Batman. He was always looked to be as a partner type figure to Batman. And so as we go to the next panel, we see that another 24 hours has passed. It is now Thursday, and it is the next season, which is winter. And going into the very first mission between Batman and Thomas, we see that Batman asks Thomas to go ahead and give him some type of countdown while he's underwater, trying to go ahead and stop this hidden mechanism that's by Calendar Man and how he is altering these seasons. And Batman is down there for about 4 minutes, and we know this by, Thomas counting down. And also Thomas is feeding Batman this doubt. He's kind of saying that you can't do it, you need to come up. I mean, this is crazy that someone is down there for almost 4 minutes, going on 5 minutes. And just as he placed the bombs on this mechanism and he's coming up for air, keep in mind, Thomas cannot see what Batman is doing, or if he's still down there, if he's on his way up. And so just as the bombs explode, he's in shock that, Batman is stubborn or he didn't listen to him. And so when everything clears out of the way, Batman is there right when the water clears out, and he grabs Thomas's hand and he says that it's done. And that just shows you, I think Batman was just trying to figure out where is his loyalty and just trusting Batman as a partner. And so going on another 24 hours, it doesn't feel like it's 24 hours, remember, but because of these hell spores, or not hell spores, but just these spores that he's created, it's causing the seasons to move a lot quicker. And so it's now Friday, it is now spring, and we see Calendar Man, we see him taking effect, or the effects of the spores on him. And it's like he's molting, like how a butterfly or a caterpillar would turn into a butterfly, or how a snake would shed their skin. And he's coming out from this old chrysalis, and he's coming into a younger Calendar Man. And so the comic then goes to Thomas and Bruce Wayne doing some type of training exercise in the backyard of Wayne Manor, and they're just reflecting on what happened. And Bruce Wayne is telling Thomas to go ahead and say it's done over and over again as he's kicking the tree. And it looks like it's the same avocado tree that Alfred was plucking vegetables from in the very beginning of the comic. And they're pretty much having a discussion about Calendar Man, how his DNA is changing every time. It's always being altered. Every time he comes back, he's different. And Thomas is asking Bruce Wayne, what do we do with an enemy like this? He's just not going to ever age. He's not going to go away. The spores have only affected him and no one else. And Batman simply says that we just come back better and stronger every time. And so Thomas then says, well, you know what? You're crazy. You know that? And just as Batman, Bruce Wayne, had confirmed with Lucius Fox that he is crazy, with the conversation that they had, he does that again with Thomas, saying that, yes, I know I am crazy. And then we see Alfred going and planting another avocado tree somewhere in the garden of Wayne Manor. All right, so that's going to do it for Batman issue #1 of DC Rebirth. We're going to do other comics, so just stay tuned. See you guys next time.